All right, I'm going to go ahead and move forward. I want to say happy Mother's Day to all of you guys. So whether you're a mother
Thank
or
you.
not, however, we are the creatresses. So regardless of what it is, we are workers. So I realized in the last class there was so much, and it even verified even more how I'm really going to take the Reiki training to extending it 2 days instead of just a day, because I realized trying to compact it. It was like 2 days later, and I was listening to some of the things that many of you were going through, and I was like, I forgot to tell them how to do the self treatments on themselves to do every day. I was so focused on how to tell you how to treat others that one of the most important things is doing it for yourself, because it's healing for yourself. And just as much as I encourage you to do sessions with others, you want to do it on yourself. And really, you should do it on yourself daily so that you can tune your body with the energy. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go over the hand positions. And then together, we can go through a self-healing treatment together to know how it feels, maybe like a brief meditation. So we may not be on here the whole 40 minutes unless you guys have questions, because I know it's Mother's Day, maybe things planned. I know my son is waiting on me for me to help him wash the car. So we know how that's going to be. So we'll work on my end, but that's okay. All of that. So first things first, you are going to do self-treatment on yourself. You can do it sitting up or you can do it laying down. Now, depending on your intentions for the treatment sessions, I can say this. If I'm laying down on my bed, which for some of you that have issues with insomnia or falling asleep at night, Reiki is good to do before you go to sleep. Most of the time, don't think you're going to go through a whole full body session, because you're probably going to fall. I don't think I've ever gotten past my heart or my stomach on a self Reiki session before I'm knocked out. Hey, Stephanie.
Hey.
So depending on what your intentions are, it will be when you actually want to do self-treatment. So like I said, if you're laying in bed, want to wind down for the day, got a lot of stuff on your mind, need help falling asleep, doing it laying down is not a bad idea. Other than that, if you're not wanting to fall asleep, I would recommend you remaining sitting up in a chair and somewhere where you can actually have your feet on the ground. Not necessarily cross-legged, but it's good to make sure you're charged and when you're doing Reiki on yourself and you're planted on the floor. Not having any body parts cross or anything, because you don't want anything to get crossed. If y'all will put your phone on mute right quick while I talk, because I can hear in the background. And then at the end, I'll tell y'all to unmute it so that can y'all see the little thing on the bottom where it says mute or unmute your screen? Or your sound?
Wait a minute.
I can see it on mine. I don't know how it looks on you guys, but okay. So how to do self-treatments, where to put your hands, where to place your hands. And then I will try to give you a brief overview depending on if you're dealing with certain ailments on which self-treatments are beneficial for you. So starting out in any session, just as you would if they're laying down, I like to start at your head. Some people, depending on the issues or the ailments, you can start on other parts of their body. But normally, if I'm doing a self-healing treatment, I like to start at the crown and go down to the feet. So starting out with that, same way as if somebody's laying down, you start with your hands over your eyes, placing the palm primary over the eye socket. Because understand, as I said before, our palms is where most of the healing energy comes from. These are like portals. So anytime you lay your hands over a person's eyes, it's automatically going to cause a sensation of relaxation. So that's why we always start most treatments out by placing your hands over their eyes to eventually relax them, to slow the mind down. So by you doing that to yourself, it's going to be healing. You're going to feel the warmth from your hands. You may feel the energy coming from your hands. But if anything, this is going to help start relaxing you. And this is the time and the place that you would really want to start just focusing on your breathing and regulating your breathing and the sensations of the breath. So then after you go from the hands over the eyes, you go to the side of the face. Same thing here, because all of this is helping to clear any energy in the head, starting to slow your mind down, helping you focus, also allowing your body to regulate the nervous systems, because the brain basically controls your hormonal systems, your emotions, and all of that. So the more you can ease that, to cut out the monkey chatter, will help as well. This is also very comforting. And then understanding the importance of touch. When you look at the psychology of touch, it's a lot of people that do not get touched. They're not nurtured. They are not shown any forms of affection. So just touching yourself is giving yourself some type of form of nurturing as well. From here, from the side of the face. Now, mind you, this is also good if anybody's having any issues with the eyes, whether hands over your eyes or hands on the side of your face, because this is all helping with the sixth chakra. And the sixth chakra, of course, deals with the third eye, but it also can deal with actual vision issues and actual hearing issues that you may be having as well. Sometimes I have issues with getting a clogged ear. And if I do Reiki on myself, normally it helps balance out probably the liquid in my ear, I'm assuming. The vision-wise, all of that. It's been times when my contacts were bothering me. I probably was on the borderline of my eye being affected from keeping the contact in so long. And I just sat there and held my hand over my eye. And of course, I took the contact lens out, but eventually it all cleared out the redness. So a lot of things that may initially be able to occur within ailments or acute things like headaches, migraines, you bump your head or your child bump their head on something and that knot's about to come up, just immediately grab the head and apply Reiki to it. And that's going to help ease any pain that may be occurring. So after the side face treatments, you go to the back of your head as if you would in a Reiki session, and the base of your hand here is really right here at the base of the occipital bone. I think I pronounced it right. But you place your hand right there. Again, this is back there by your pituitary gland. So again, this is an area that is helping with any hormonal issues in that area as well. So holding it back here, that also helps, is another form of relaxation, because you're dealing with the fluid, the cerebral fluid that flows from your brain down the spinal fluid into your back. So it helps to ease that. It helps to ease any anxiety. If you know people that are prone, or if you are prone to have anxiety attacks or panic attacks, placing your hands in this position can help ease that as well. So from here, after you go from the back of the neck, this is optional, depending on how comfortable this is for you. Self-healing techniques, I wouldn't say that you're going to go through a whole hour of self-healing, just because you're going to check out. For most self-healing I would say sessions for yourself, maybe 15 minutes. If your arms are not tired as like this, you can go to the top of your head too. A lot of these hand positions are not necessarily you have to do it, but I also suggest you go to where it feels best for you, because everybody is different. So from here, of course, we move down to the throat chakra, placing your hands gently around your neck. This is wonderful if you ever find yourself sore throat, having issues in that area, feeling yourself begin to get a little sick. You know, sometimes since our lymph nodes are right here, it begins to get tender. Doing this, holding our hands here, can help eliminate that. Or crooks in the neck. If you ever wake up, can't turn your neck a certain way, before you start the day, just place your hands around your neck. So even if you're going through some emotional things that you know you need to be speaking, you're having a hard time voicing your opinion, or it seems like the communication you are giving, people
Welcome
just not
to
understand
your meeting ID
what you're
followed
saying.
by the pound or hash sign.
I hear somebody's phone. Can y'all hear the dial tones? I hear somebody's dial tones. Somebody's not on
Enter
mute.
your participant ID followed by pound.
Okay, so
are
moving
in
on.
now.
The hands
There
around the
are
neck
over
from the fifth
10
chakra.
participants in the meeting.
Somebody still has I can hear their phone. I don't know if you can mute, make sure everybody's phones are muted. Okay. All right, so moving here from the neck, from the throat chakra, we come down to the heart chakra area. And you place your hands right here above your chest. Now, mind you, all these positions are pretty easy if you're laying down or if you're sitting up. But you want to make sure if you're sitting up, you have some stability so you don't get tired and start to sloop or anything, because you want to keep your spine erect to allow the energy to flow through it. So this is what you do for the heart. Sometimes you can go here. Sometimes you can do both, especially if it's a thing, if you are needing to have a discussion with someone and you know it has to come from the heart, where you're trying to release the ego from being offended and wanting to fuss and express your point, understanding that sometimes it's not really about your point, it's just getting the words across that you need to be heard, but they have to come from love. So this is a good way to start before you even initiate a conversation like that, is basically coming and breathing in through the heart and allowing the energy to go up through the throat chakra. And that can help and clear up any blockages or any throat blockages that could impact you from speaking. So from the heart chakra, slide back a little bit. You go down to your solar plexus. Y'all like my t-shirt? Love. I'm sorry. I love my shirt. So we go down to the solar plexus, holding our hands here. Now, mind you, there's been plenty of nights that I've had digestive issues or stomach issues, or sometimes I know I just ate totally too much before I went to bed. And I literally would lay my hands here on my stomach. And just as if you've done sessions yet and start to put your hands in the solar plexus area, you start to hear the stomach begin to gurgle and the digestive juices beginning to get activated. This can occur if you have your hands here in this area too. And as always, the heat helps soothe any type of pain. So once you send energy to this area, the heat and warmth from your hands can assist. I also literally do this too, as I was saying one time before, if those of you, and if that's a whole nother webinar on using metaphysics and energy work to help lose weight. But just as well as I was saying, if we can change the molecular structure of water, we can set intentions to change the molecular structure of our bodies too. So there's a lot of times when I feel like I need to trim down some inches or something, I will literally send energy to my hands and just move like however I want my waistline to go in. It's like I'm pushing all of that in and moving it out. So and whatever, if it's any energy that has collected on me that I'm holding on to, I'm releasing all of it. And literally I've seen results just doing that and setting my intentions daily. So from here, after the stomach, you want to move into the sacral area. And you can move your hands right down here into the creases of your hips, because you want to get right there in that line where things cross the root chakra into the reproductive areas. So just sitting here, or if you're laying down, it'll be a lot easier to place your hands like right there on the womb. But in the meantime, sitting up, because by now your arms may be getting a little tired, but holding it like this, sending intentions into this area, is working with the sacral chakra. Then from here, as we move into the root chakra, I go to my hands on my back, placing my hands right here on the lower back, facing down. This is good for back aches. If any of you deal with back aches, sciatica, any issues in that lower chakra, dealing with financial issues, afraid to make some moves, you're going to tend to feel that tightness anyhow in that lower part of your back. Now, there's another video I probably will do sooner, a webinar on different chair positions to help activate the chakras, because if this is an area where you're known to get tight, it's just simple positions you can do in your chair, reaching over to the floor and coming back up, back and forth, that can help activate that lower chakra. But I'll do that one again, another webinar that we can actually just get down on the floor and do some stretches so you can have a better understanding of that. So from here, working with that root chakra in your back, if you're still sitting up, you can bring your hands down to your knees and just placing one hand on each knee. And just hold it there. And of course, those of you who deal with joint issues, stiffness of the knees, things of that nature, if you're dealing with arthritis, this is a good position. If not for yourself, on others, you know, if you just want to come up to them, if you know they have issues with their knees, and place your hands on the knees, that warmth, that heat right there can definitely help get some things moving to help give more flexibility in the knees as well, because that's what heat does. It helps things move to become more active, and that is what allows the flexibility of the joints. So from here, after this it depends on you. Pretty done a good amount of grounding. If you could just take your foot, I don't know if y'all can see my feet. Let's see. For the final grounding, and place your hands on the soles of your feet and keeping your hand on your knee. This is help continue to ground you before you actually stand, to make sure you cleared yourself and brought all the energy down to your root chakra. And at the end, this is normally where I would just, as if I'm cutting off or pulling out any energy, and I just take it down through my legs just to release it. And that's what I normally say. I release, I release, I release. And do the same thing with the other foot. Now, I also say, depending on everybody, some people at the point they may not be able to get their foot up on their knee. That is okay. It is not important that you have to touch your feet at the end. So that's why I always want you to understand the modifications. Your session can end right here. That's no problem. But if you want to take it and go ahead, if you can get to your feet, or if you're sitting on the floor possibly, then you can. So this is why I'm saying, if you are laying down, more than likely you're not going to get to do any energy work on your feet. Because if you're laying down, more than likely by your solar plexus chakra, I even give it to you, you may get to your sacral chakra. But if not, you're probably going to fall asleep. So understanding that helps you to know how to apply what to what area if you're dealing with things for self-treatment. You can do a full body session just to balance you out if you feel your chakras are out of order, or just for general self-healing. And I mind you, with any of those hand positions, if you know that you are having a particular issue with your chakras in that area, then you just apply more energy to that point in time. So say if you've been dealing with something that's on your chest, your heart has been aching, place your hands, breathe into your hands, send the energy there before you go to sleep. Give yourself that own love and send that love and energy into that area. And as you're breathing and applying, set the intentions to release. Is it the pain that you're dealing with? Is it someone you need to forgive that your ego is fighting you with, that you just can't give them that power? If so, that's when you breathe into that area to help you release whatever it is that's causing you to respond in the way that's more from the ego than from the spirit. Because you want to keep all that energy flowing. And like I said with the Reiki, each chakra center is an input of information, and depending how healthy that chakra is going to depend on how you process the information and put information back out. So at the end of the day, you want to make sure you're as aligned as much as possible, or also at the end of the day, if not the beginning of the day, doing self-healing treatments at the end of the day to help pull the unnecessary stuff that may have gotten clogged into your own chakra centers, that it can affect your processing. And that's why many of us sometimes after a day being healers, you're going to go to bed feeling heavy. If you are a teacher, nurse, anybody, and you're constant, that's your job, 8 hours. Some of us work in the office. We just deal with the computer. But if you have interaction with people daily, sometimes you go to bed feeling heavy. And a lot of times it's not you. It's not you at all. It's just your chakra centers have begun to get clogged on how you process information. And that root chakra, when it gets heavy, you feel heavy because the root chakra is about connecting to the body. That's the densest chakra. So understanding this allows you to know how to reset yourself when you may be off, which chakra may be off, so that you can apply the same to give yourself the healing that you need to keep those chakras activated. And I still say self-healing is good, but I also encourage you, as you see the support system, ask some of the other group members sometimes for a full chakra session. Reiki session. Because doing it on yourself is good as well, but a lot of times you tend to go out and fall asleep, even though healing still can occur. But it's still not like the feeling of being able to totally relax, because sometimes you're sitting there like, okay, my arm's starting to get tired. It may not be as comfortable, but you know that you are unblocking things. But sometimes you just need to be still and allow others to attend to you as often as possible. And that's one of the things I encourage you to, at least, if not monthly, maybe every other month, is to get yourself a full Reiki session from someone else, barter with one of the other students, however, because as a healer, you have to be nurtured too. And if you're always giving out and you're not getting back, you're going to get burnt out. And literally it's like your life, but you can short circuit yourself. So understand you are a conduit of energy. It is always ongoing, but you want to make sure that current is always flowing and you don't have any blockages that end up causing blockages within you that's causing health ailments and issues of that nature as well. Well, if you guys want to take the phone off mute, hold on one moment. Let me see why my laptop is not charging. Let me plug in my thing because I don't want it to end in the middle of the conversation. One moment. All right. So does anybody have any questions? I know, Andrea, I still see you're muted. Stephanie, you're muted. Do y'all have any questions about the self-healing hand techniques?
No, I don't. I just want to thank you for the Mother's Day gift. Thank you.
Good. Well, thank you for that. Appreciate that.
And I needed the refreshers, so
And
I'm gonna start.
And I'm glad
doing what I'm supposed to.
That's it. And the most important thing, like I said, even if you're not giving direct sessions to people, understand as a light worker, you still giving Reiki when you're even in the presence of others. So your healing energy is going to envelop you in whatever environment you go into. You're going to be doing some type of healing and you're going to absorb some things. So doing the self-hand healing techniques can help. Or even at the end of a day, if you just start feeling heavy, or say you encountered somebody or you had a client or session that you kind of really feel like their energy has impacted you, just consciously go through your body. If you don't have Florida water or Kelly's bottle of spray or protection spray, just go through yourself and just clear yourself like you're shaking it off for yourself and disconnect their energy so that you don't continue to hold that energy on as well. All right, Kelly, I see you just joined us. How you doing, beautiful?
I'm fine.
Good. Any other questions you guys may have?
Asha, since I'm late, did you cover, sometimes I just wonder if doing a real quick session is effective.
What kind of quick session?
Like if doing a really quick session is really effective, like going through for, I've done as little as 2 minutes, but sometimes I like with each position, but sometimes I feel like there's days where I want to do it, but I don't feel like I have enough time. Mm-hmm. So would 1 minute on each position be okay?
I think 20 minutes on any position is going to be okay, because something is better than nothing. Even like, I don't know if y'all remember, like in classes when I do a demonstration of somebody's chakra being blocked, and I'm demonstrating the hand positions, and then within 5 minutes, you can see their chakras are moving at a better place. They may not be totally open, but it's almost like with anything, if you have a bottle of water that's about to overflow, every little bit of energy work is going to help lower the water in that bottle. So even if you lower it to right here and it's still 85% full, at least it ain't at 95% that you kind of go over the edge. You see what I'm saying? So even if you just got to debrief for a moment and clear some stuff off, a minute a chakra can be beneficial as well.
Okay, and I also feel like I haven't, because I am so busy, I haven't done some things that I've wanted to do as far as learning more about the chakras and learning, like I ordered the pendulum, haven't used it, but I just tend to do the self Reiki on myself, and I have seen benefit, but waiting for that, part 2 to see the benefit to do distance Reiki with other people.
Right.
And so I, like, before I even get to that point, I really am trying to carve out some time to connect my learning with the chakras, especially because I look at you and how you use all of this in therapy. And I really want to use it in that space.
Okay.
And I'm not able to do that now.
Okay. And
so if you have some tips on that, that would be good.
Well, one, I would say, even though that's one of the things that people say, and you want to be like, oh God, is being patient. But I feel you, and then maybe and when we get to the number 2, but one of the hardest things I've learned, and I think that's where you came in at to the end, is doing that self-healing on ourselves, because we give so much and we're ready to take things to the level that we often neglect ourselves. So I even say in this situation right now, until we get to level 2, I think this is a good time for Raquel to get the self-healing and give as much to herself before you expand to giving others. Because all has to combine. So I would say continue to utilize this time period until we do the retreat in Puerto Rico on just as applying as much on you as possible to keep yourself balanced and open so that you can expand and do more work from that. Keep doing what you're doing, because understand this is a day-to-day growth, and you're going to be a sponge with knowledge. So, take in what you can today, read what you can about chakras, allow that to process, practice it, implement it, and then it's layers. And it's all going to come, because once the mind has this information, it's going to continue to seek it. So you'll end up like me with 50 million books. And then after a while, it's just going to seem like secondhand knowledge, so you're not going to really need books. Then you're going to get books and be like, I already knew this. I already felt this. So if you need the books to help confirm, but I would say go within deep, because a lot of it is just you knowing without knowing, and what feels right and what spirit, guides you in from that aspect as well too. All right, my thanks.
And I
7 more minutes. Go ahead right quick, Raquel.
I was just going to say, I have been, one of the things that I think I'm best at right now is just incorporating the oils with it and elevating the experience that way. So I'm happy about that, but I guess I just put pressure on myself to get some more, full understanding of the chakra work and just looking at how that correlates with what is going on with a person who is actually in therapy with me at that time.
And what I think I would like to do to help everybody get more encouragement on what they do, even like with these little mini webinars, bringing some of your own, that because I want you to get comfortable in how you apply it. Like even one day, I can have you come on to talk about how you use the essential oils in your sessions. So whatever it is, master what it is that you feel you're best at, then the other stuff would come. And that's what I say, everybody has different gifts on how, we work with the energy work, that I want you to feel that confident in and expound on that. And then when you take it to another level, you already have that root of what it is you're wanting to build upon to take it to that next level. So that's good. Stephanie, have you done any sessions?
I did yesterday.
Okay.
I did to South Carolina, and it wasn't long because it was emotional, but
Okay. Good. And you're gonna find that some are gonna be more emotional and anything else like so. And just be conscious of it. And Andrea, we gotta get you gotta get Reiki too, so you can learn to send healing energy to environments and places and people before you even get there.
Okay.
Because that could have helped you a lot with that situation you just went through with the school system and stuff, and how
you're exactly right.
Yeah. So
Right, but this right here, what I just learned again, relearned again, I'm gonna get back and start back doing this because I didn't follow through like I was supposed to, and just writing it down and watching and how you place your hand and everything. I'm ready.
okay, cool. Somebody has sent me a text. There's something we need to say before we begin our self-care or before you start self-healing sessions. Just understand it's always set with intent, whatever it is that you wishing to clear. If you think I need to clear off the day, if I need to release the negative energy, that is your intent before you start the session. So it's no script, it's no certain things, but you may have your own ritual that you may implement before you do self-healing. You may decide that you're going to say a certain prayer. You may want to light your candles. However that you need that your ambiance, then there's never anything wrong. All about your intentions. All right. Well, I hope this was. Oh, that was you, Tish. You're welcome, Tish. So I hope this was beneficial to you all. And Queen, is anybody that you couldn't hear in positions that help with headaches? Yes, yes. All these head positions here, starting over the eyes particularly, because your eyes are extension of your brain, and each nerve ending in your eye is correlated to a different part of your body. So doing this, you're going to help relax the nerves. And it's also sometimes your migraines, because you are a very enlightened individual and you're very intuitive. So sometimes many of us are dealing with our chakras opening. We're going through this expansion. And when it's trying to expand in this confined space, sometimes it's like pressure. So that and doing this, with migraines help this, taking your fingers here and doing this. This helps open up your pineal gland as well. And it's kind of like releasing pressure in your mind and releasing a lot. So doing this, find your finger here, because these are nerve centers, and just applying pressure there can help release tension in this area. Another thing
Right
I
here.
found out from Fee, and she's a licensed massage therapist for migraine, pulling your ears. I thought this was interesting. Pulling your ears down.
Yeah, I tried that the other day.
Yeah, and the way back for your body may help. And I don't know, Azima, if you're into essential oils and stuff, but I know right that some you can use peppermint, the lavender, and put on the base of the neck back here. That can relieve.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you have somebody that can give you a session when you have migraines, because applying that pressure right there at the base is going to relieve the tension that a lot of times come from migraine. And that's why I said that's a good place to at least put the essential oils. And if you had to massage yourself right there to help release the tension, but that would help as well. Yes, and in the head positions is going to help that, because I just feel like a lot of yours is your third eye expanding. And so, and then if that area is sensitive, then the smells, the pollution, the pollen, it's just like, can send you into overload. Oh,
Yes,
cool.
thank you.
All right, and I will, hopefully this is recorded, so I will repost it again if you did not catch the beginning of the hand positions. And then y'all let me know too if there's certain topics, and I really wouldn't mind doing this on an ongoing basis if it's just more like a group sharing. So in case any of you had questions or experiences and things that you wanted support from the group, we still have that. So I might just do different topics just to go back over and refresh you, whether it's crystal healing, whether it's the aromatherapy. And if some of you have particular areas that you have learned to integrate into your Reiki treatment, then let's talk about that. And before we go, Zandra, your event is coming up at the beginning of June. Are you still looking for volunteers to do Reiki?
I don't think so. I've had about 6 responses, so I'm going to get with those individuals. There'll be about 40 couple, so about 80 people, but there's also going to be massage therapists there. So I'm
Okay.
just looking for brief encounters.
Okay,
But if
good.
anybody's interested and want to donate, they can let me know. We're also looking for door prizes for families, and that can be something that we can offer, and it's a tax write-off for anybody that's interested.
Okay. All right, Greg. My thing is about to cut me off on my minutes for this. So from here, if anybody, hey, beautiful, hit me up if you have any questions. And until the next one, love and light. And in case y'all didn't know, hands in prayer position means gasso. So if you ever hear that terminology, it's basically almost like namaste, seeing the light, seeing the God in you. So namaste and gasso to all of you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye, y'all.
Bye bye.